Hi guys, how are you? So today we are going to do a video about when we buy a new motorcycle, what are the kind of capabilities that motorcycle has and what we have never used. So two things we always ignore, everybody ignores. I have ignored it. After riding for more than 17, 18 years, I have ignored these two basic facts. So okay, I'll tell you examples of how I got to know this after a long time, because basically before I was just riding my bike, and when you buy a bike, it's in a generalized setting. So that setting is for everybody. You buy a KTM, you buy anything you want to buy, and then it comes in a particular setting, and we start thinking, this is the way this bike rides. So if I need to, find more comfort or something, or whatever I need to make it more sporty, I need to buy a new motorcycle because this is what this motorcycle can do. That's not true. Now, two things you have which you can change on your motorcycle as soon as buying it, or maybe after the first service, is suspension and our tires. So I'm going to go about why I say tires and suspension, and why you're not going to spend too much money on these. I'll just give you examples on this. So the first thing, so I'll start. The first thing that people don't really get changed is the tires. I'm not saying you don't get your tires changed. What I mean to say is you don't change the stock tires. You just use you buy a stock, then you buy another stock, then you buy another stock. So this bike I bought back in 2015, and it used to corner decent enough. I thought it's not a super bike, it's not supposed to corner. So anyways, I wore out the tires in 10,000 kilometers, and then I was supposed to buy a new one. So I asked one of my friends, and because he was riding on the track, he said, why don't you get these Medzilla Sportec 2, put in these. So I was like, he said, it's going to make a difference and all. I didn't really believe him. I said, fine, okay, I'm going to spend money, I'll just get it put. So I got these ones put, and I am telling you, once I got out of the showroom, the way this bike cornered, it was like something I had never done in the last 2 years. You know why? Because I never gave much attention to my tires. I thought this is the way it comes, this is the way it'll corner, and that's what people do. For example, if you see, I have a Scorpio standing outside, and when I bought it, I thought this is an off-roader, but it had HT tires, which were highway terrain tires, and I couldn't off-road like shit. And then I had to get all terrain put, and now it does everything. So we companies will give you a set of tires which they feel is right for you, but maybe they are not right for you. You're not actually utilizing the bike the way it's supposed to be. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is suspension. Suspension is very important. We guys don't work on suspension, and overhauling a suspension or putting a new suspension will cost you anywhere, maybe for a bike like this, around 1 lakh. Okay, even for something like this on the Perak, you'll have to spend 50,000 to change the suspension. Now, what you can do is you can play around with your existing suspension. So recently, now you see, there is this preload system is here, and then you of course have this shocker in the back. Now, one of my friends, he deals in shockers, Mukul Patel, the big showroom in Karol Bagh. He does this shocker work. He's done a course from UK and all. I met him a few months back, and he told me, you need to change the shockers on this, it's too stiff. I said, yeah, okay. And this is built like a cruiser. The only reason I wanted to sell this bike was because every time I used to go to a bump, I felt like my spine is going to break. My lower back had a major issue with the shockers on this bike, and I was very disappointed. I thought I'll get an overhaul done, put new shockers, but 1 lakh rupees, I said, who's going to spend 1 lakh rupees? At least I didn't want to back then. I just thought I'll sell it and buy something more comfortable. I took this bike to him on Saturday. Now if you see, he tweaked around the suspension a little according to my weight, because everybody weighs. He said that, this is for somebody who's like 75, 80 kilos and 70, 75, and I am around 90, 92. So he said you need a different suspension setup. He whatever he did, he tinkered here. I'm not a suspension expert, but what I'm trying to tell you is he's tinkered here. He changed the setting on these. I rode the bike close to 30, 40 kilometers after that, and no pressure on my back, because this used to be a bouncy. This used to bounce on my back every time I used to go on a bump. Now it's not doing that. It was crazy. I've been riding this bike for 2 years now, and I didn't know that, with a little bit of tweaking here, he took half an hour to tweak it, and it was not expensive at all. And now this bike runs in a very different manner. It's got better handling, it's got better shockers. My back is not having any problem. I mean, we guys don't get this done. You guys, and people, riding bikes on the track, even the smaller ones like KTM 390, RC 390, you guys got to get. He was in Chennai for a while. He said that he set up the, shocker suspension for a lot of these KTM RC 390s in Chennai, and they had lap times of less than 2 to 3 seconds after that, because suspension changes everything. The cornering. I had a Z1000 and my friend had a Z900. I rode his Z900 once on a corner. He was riding my Z1000, and the bike just went down, and I was like, this is not a street bike, this is more like a tourer. And then of course he got it overhauled. He got the suspension setup done. Now that bike actually corners well. Even a Ninja 1000 which I had could never corner when I had it. And finally when my friends bought one, he got the preload system changed front and back, and now his bike corners much better. There's a 50% improvement in the motorcycle. For this it's a 100% improvement as far as my back is concerned. So guys, you need to go and get your suspensions done up. You might feel this is the way the bike is. No, it's not like that. These are all generalized settings. Suspensions, tires, and you will feel like you're riding a brand new bike. If you want some power, you can always put a power commander, or you can kind of put some air filter and all to boost your power, and your bike can become 25 to 30% or actually 50% better than what it is. Go and get it done. It's not that expensive. It'll be a great experience. Thank you so much. So the first thing